hello and welcome. My name is Kubeir, in case you didn't already know that, and welcome to this channel. One big one that I want to talk to you about is the visit visa rejections. I know a lot of people have been submitting visit visa applications. A lot of you are also receiving refusals and rejections, sometimes for ridiculous reasons, sometimes for valid reasons, of course. What are the conditions under which a visit visa may be processed in a positive manner? First of all is your past travel history. Past travel history is very, very important. So when you say past travel history, especially for people in the subcontinent, traveling to Bangkok, traveling to Dubai doesn't count as travel history. So by travel history, they basically are looking for countries where you may have had to provide some credible documents in order to obtain those visas. So UK, Australia, New Zealand, US, Schengen countries, these would be the visas that they would be looking for in order to establish credibility in sense. So what does a past travel history does? So what does it do? I mean, past travel history establishes you as a genuine bona fide visitor who did comply with the law of the land, who did comply with the fact that they were able to travel to that country and leave that country within the prescribed allowed legal period of stay. So that is where the past travel history or record makes a difference. Having said that, it does not mean that if you don't have past travel history, then your application will be refused. It's not entirely the mandatory requirement. It's not entirely the conclusive reason for your application assessment, but it is one of the biggest supporting factors. That's one. Number two is your financial stability. Now, with financial stability, I basically mean that what kind of finances are you providing in your application? If you're going to be showing, say, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh rupees, then you have to keep in mind the cost of travel to Canada is expensive. The living cost, or the visiting cost in Canada is expensive. Even if you have somebody who's taking care of your expenses, even if you have provided a invitation letter from your sponsor, invitation letter from your family who said that they will take care of your expenses, in spite of that, if a person who's only making a salary of 20, 25, 30,000 rupees, but now wants to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 lakh rupees on a travel, it always is a bit of a flag. So obviously having decent financial stability is a big factor to show that you can actually afford to take that trip. And the idea here is that IRCC is looking at that. Are you looking at coming to Canada and staying here illegally and working in Canada illegally to support your expenses? That is what they're looking for. Okay, so if you have good finances to show, then obviously that will help. And third, and it's not the third, but one of the three main factors is your ties to home country. Now, your ties to home country would become the reasons which will pull you back to your home country, or the reasons that are compelling enough to take you back to your home country. So ongoing employment. Now, when I say ongoing employment, it basically means if you have been in an employment for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months, that doesn't really help. But if you've been in employment for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, that makes a big difference. It shows that you stuck around in that employment, and then obviously you are going to go back and join back into that employment. So employment letter, a letter from your employer stating that you're going on leave, that usually helps. In addition to that, income tax returns, again, to substantiate your financial stability, as well as your employment proof, that also will help. Again, what you're drawing as salary from this employment also helps. If you are an ongoing business engagement, businesses helps. If you own property, real estate helps. If you are a retired individual, your pensions, that also helps. If you have ongoing voluntary engagements that are pretty crucial for you, critical for you, that also helps. All of this, explaining all of this will make a big difference in your application. Okay. Apart from that, in cases of visit visa applications, if you are going to say that you want to come to Canada for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, so you're mentioning in your application, I'm going to come to Canada, I want to live here for 3 months. Visa officer is going to wonder, why do you want to come to Canada for 3 months? And if you're going to come to Canada for 3 months, what's happening with your business, with your employment? Are you really getting a leave for 3 months? Can you really afford to leave your business for 3 months and you will not go back? And who's taking care of it? So these long periods of intended travel to Canada also is a bit of a concern. Ideally, if you're visiting a country, you will be going there for what? I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks at most. So keep your period of stay Reasonable, which would be considered as reasonable period of stay. If you're going to be saying that I'm going to be coming to Canada for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, that is definitely a flag. So combination of all this is what will define or decide for you the decision for you, whether it's going to be positive or negative. If you have any negative factors, when I'm saying negative factor, means if you don't have travel history. So make sure you strengthen the other aspects of your application, especially the ties to home country. New portal, old portal, we have discussed this before. New portal, we understand or we assume, because there is no way of confirming that it is directly linked to the artificial intelligence that they are using at this point of time in order to identify certain criterias and applications based on which they will be able to make fast decisions. With the old portal, it's still a use of forms, which basically means they will have to manually update those informations. So the data scraping or the data mining has to happen in a different manner. It takes a little bit more time. Therefore, the processing timings are different. You're seeing the new portal having faster processing timing, older portal having slightly longer processing timings. One of the reasons is because of the data mining or data scraping, as I said. But having said that, because more information needs to be extracted from the forms in the old portal, the chances are the visa officer is going to pay a little more attention to your application from the old portal versus the new portal. In new portal, as we said, it's using the artificial intelligence that they're using. They're making faster decisions, but at the same time, a lot of those decisions are not really justified. People are getting very generic refusal reasons, the purpose of travel, ties to Canada. Those are the reasons being given. They don't make sense in a lot of cases. If you feel you're one of those people who has got a decision on their visit visa application which you feel is not justified, which doesn't make sense, first thing that you should do is obviously apply for the ATIP notes or GCMS notes so that you can understand what exactly went wrong with your application, because the officer would indicate what was their concern. Using that, if you are still within the 30 days period of time, do apply for reconsideration of your decision, highlighting what documentation, what information you had provided in your application, which was not considered, and yet the visa officer made a decision contrary to what information you have already provided. Okay, do that. And if it is still not considered, and if you still think you did provide everything and you still have a very good travel history, good finances, everything, then you may want to consider consulting an immigration lawyer who can then take your application to the federal court for a judicial review and challenge that decision of the visa officer. IRCC is counting on the fact that most people will not challenge the decisions. They're counting on the fact that most people are unaware. They will not sort of do anything about it. You have a negative decision, well, you go back and reapply. People will reapply, and if you do not make any substantial changes, significant changes from your first application, you will get the same decision. So unless you make these changes, or unless there is a reason for you to reapply by providing additional documents or additional information, then you will get the same reason. But if you think something is wrong in the decision, challenge it, and you will see that you may have a better chance of getting a reverse decision or an approval there. So that is what I have for you for visit visa applications. Please do subscribe to the channel. We want to see those numbers growing up. If you want to make an appointment, then this is the link. Please feel free to check this link and make an appointment with us. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, take care, and I shall see you next time.